Okay, you've got a big project due this Sunday, the part one of your nutritional analysis project, and I want to make sure you all get a good start on that. So I wanted to give you some how-tos. Now I'm going to work through this pretty quickly. This is my third or fourth attempt at recording because I can't seem to get it under 15 minutes. So forgive me if I talk quickly, but that's why. So I want to show you something real quick first. This assignment summary under the Start Here tab. It's a good idea if you print this out, put it next to your computer. Nice, concise way of seeing when all of your assignments are due. This first part of nutrition analysis project, as we mentioned, is due this coming Sunday, which is day 7 of Module 1. It's worth 105 points. Next week, you've got the second part due worth 70 points, and then the third part is due during Module 6. So altogether, 200-point project. It's worth 200 or 20% of your grade. So I do want to make sure that you're getting off on the right foot. Okay. Now, let's see here. This, get rid of some of this. Okay, so the nutritional analysis project is listed here. I wanted to point out something here. I ask you to list everything for 3 consecutive days, and I say ideally record 2 weekdays and a weekend. Now that we've changed our weeks to Monday through Sunday, if you were to do this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that would only leave Sunday to complete this assignment. You're welcome to do that, but if you don't have the whole day open, I recommend that you go ahead and do 3 weekdays and get started earlier. Okay, it's just a recommendation. You do need to do 3 consecutive days, and you'll see why here in a second, but you don't have to do 2 weekdays and a weekend. Also note that you need to make sure that your your average is at least 1,200 calories. If not, you need to let me know as soon as you can so that we can make other arrangements. And I'll show you that again. So go to this site, SuperTracker. We're going to do that together here. Whoops. Right here, SuperTracker. You're going to need to get log on, create a profile. Once you're here, what you need to do is enter all of your foods. I'm going to just do this for a couple for the sake of time. You need to click the kind you like and make sure you check the portions and make sure you check the meal and then click add. As you add each and every food, including margarine, mayonnaise, coffee, anything that you're consuming, this table will change and your statistics will change elsewhere on the page as well. So continue to do that. Whoops, what did I misspell here? Watch the portion size and the amount. Click the meal that you consumed it with and click add. Once you do that for all 3 days, all 3 meals, you're going to need to print out your reports. So what you're going to do is at the top of this, you'll see my reports. And I need food groups and calories, nutrient report, and meal summary. So since I've only entered a couple of foods, I'm going to go ahead and use a different day that I entered everything in. So this is why you need to have consecutive days. I'm just going to pick, I think I did it for the 28th, but you're going to actually pick 3 days. So yours should be like the 28th, 29th, 30th, or whatever 3 days you did. I just did 1 date for an example, and I'm hoping I got the right date for you. All right. Oh, good. So here's the foods that I consumed under my food group and calorie reports for the 28th, and I also need you to do that for nutrient report. Once again, you're going to pick your 3-day spread where you wrote everything down that you consumed. And then you also need to do it for a meal summary. Now when you do this one for your 3 days, make sure you click all, because I want all of these meals and snacks included on your report. And as you download these reports to your computer, you can pick the form you prefer. I don't care. PDF, Excel, or Word, and then you'll need to upload those in Blackboard. When you go to do that, under Modules, right here, you do it under the Assignment Submission. Okay, so back to our assignment. When you go to fill out these, so here's the 3 reports I just walked you through, and then you need to complete all of the tables up to Part 2. So this is due next week, so just everything up to here. So given that I have enough time here, I'm going to walk you through a couple of things. The first thing you're going to do is find 6 vitamins and minerals that you were low in. If you weren't low in 6, then pick 6 and then tell me how you met. This explains it, how you met the recommendations under tips. If you were low, let's go back to my reports and see where I was low. This one, the first table comes from this nutrient report. Here's your vitamins, here's your minerals, and here you can see where I was under in potassium and iron, vitamin D, and folate and choline. So I would have to pick one other one that I was okay in because I have 5 that I'm under in. But make sure that you click these expansion opportunities, these plus marks, so that it gives you these tips. Okay, so back to our assignment. So you're going to list the target, average amount eaten, the function of the micronutrient, which you can find that in your textbook, as well as 3 or 4 sources, and then the tip, which can be found directly under this. This is what I want you to list. Another thing, well, let me get back to this. I mentioned it later. So do that. Oops, sorry. The target here and actual amount eaten is these 2 areas, as you'll see. So now back to the second table. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Now we're looking at the macronutrients, the carbs, the protein, and the total fat. I list the target for you. I want you to tell me the amount eaten, and I want you to tell me to answer these questions. Okay, so that's once again back to the nutrient report. Of the 3 reports, we're going to use this one. And here is your percent carbs, your percent protein, and your fat is down here. It says total fat, but here's your percent. So list the targets listed for you, list the average amount consumed, and what's nice about these is when you expand these categories, they will give you the foods that you consumed that contributed to that. So this will help you answer some of the questions in that report that that table that I asked you to complete. A little distracted. My little guy's coming in and out of the house as I'm recording this, so I apologize for my pauses. All right, then you need to stay on the nutrient report, and you need to address these nutrients. Fiber as an example. Added sugar, and I also need you to list your fiber. Added sugar, saturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, monounsaturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium. So list the target with the exception of these because there is no specific target. Average amount eaten, health benefit or risk, 3 to 4 food sources, and tips. Once again, you can find a lot of that information on this report, and if not, look in your textbook. Okay, so here's a lot of that. Okay, now we're going to go to the food group and calorie report, and I also recommend that you refer to the choosemyplate.gov/myplate site. They give you a lot of the health benefits for these food groups as well as sources, and then the tips you can get off the report itself. So you need to address all of the food groups with their subgroups as listed here. And I just wanted to show you at the well, here's your food group. This is what I'm talking about. So here's the grain and then the subgroups, your vegetables and the subgroups and so forth. Once again, take advantage of these expansion opportunities to help you complete the information needed. And then I ask you to go to the Choose My Plate site. And right here, if you click on each one of these, let's just do fruits, for example. You will see right under here, you can click on nutrients and health benefits to answer some of those questions on the table, and then you can go back to food sources, and there's a lot of information here, so that's why I suggested that you look at that as well as your textbook. Okay, so that's that table. Now I want you to use the Foodopedia, and that's at the Super Tracker as well. and you need to compare two foods in regard to calories, saturated fat, sodium, and added sugar. Now when you go to do that, oh shoot, it's right under my little, here we go. It's under my tab, I can't see it. So we're going to go to Foodipedia, and you need to pick, let me go back to the directions here. Compare two foods. For your first food, use the food that contributed the most in these areas in your nutrient report. Okay, and once again, you click on that expansion opportunity. So when we're looking at added sugar, so let's go back to our nutrient report and go under added sugars. So I click on that. Oh, it expired. It's going to give you, as I showed you earlier, it will give you all of the foods that contribute. Let's see if I can do it with this one. All the foods you consume that fell under that group. Now, they're all expiring while I'm making this recording, but do that. And then I can tell you an example in mine. I want you to compare the two. So, for instance, I consumed almond milk, sweetened, all right? And so when you look at that, 93 calories, and it lists added sugar, saturated fat, and sodium, I want to compare that to a healthier alternative, which would be almond milk unsweetened. And this will do that for you. Okay? There they are. There's the comparison. They show you the calories, the difference in calories, the sugars, the saturated fat, and the sodium content. Now that's interesting, isn't it? The unsweetened is actually higher in sodium. So go back to your table under the Foodipedia and do that for added sugars, and then do it for saturated fats, sodium, and calories at the top. Last but not least, looks like I got 2 minutes left. I want you to address 3 of the 5 guidelines at this site under the 2015 to 2020 Dietary Guidelines for Americans. So when you go there, I thought I had it. Well, maybe not. So we're going to go there together. Whoops, there's my family. Sorry about that. That's what I get. That's what happens when I hurry. So here's the executive summary, the site, the link that I shared with you. And if you scroll down right here is where we want you to look. Here's our 5 guidelines from there. I want you to pick 3 that you're going to address in your menus. Now everything you're doing this week is preparing you for writing a 3-day menu with improvements for next week. So all of this will come together. If you kind of look ahead, you'll see how that happens. I personally think the easiest ones to pick is 2, 3, and 4. But as you scroll on down past key recommendations, they give you a little more information on each one with some examples over here. So you get to choose which 3 out of the 5 you want to pick, and then write those. All you need to do is tell me which 3 you're going to address in your menus, because you'll need to justify or explain how you're going to do that. And that is it. I think I finally did it under 15 minutes. So if you have questions, make sure you email me or put it under the Ask Christine forum so that everyone can benefit from your question and my answer. And I'll get right back to you within 24 hours. Okay, good luck, and let me know if you have any questions at all. Thank you.